Welcome back, everybody, to the latest video in the ever more popular growing mini-series of Just the Fit Tip.
Just the Fit Tip.
Just the Fit Tip, guys.
Where we debunk myths about fitness. And
it's not just debunking. Just these first handful of episodes are like debunking, but sometimes it's going to be giving you tips. It's going to be telling you what works. Some science that's really cool and groundbreaking.
We're just going to give you the tip.
Yeah.
But just the tip.
Of fitness.
The fit tip.
The tip of fitness, right here.
All right, so what are we talking about today, Neb?
What we are talking about today is that fasted cardio is better for fat loss.
But Nevin, I thought that fasted cardio was better for fat loss. What do you mean?
Sashay away.
What?
Sashay away. I've been watching a lot.
Sashay away?
I've been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race. And it's actually a great show.
Don't plug RuPaul's Drag Race. This is our thing. What are you doing?
Sashay away.
All right.
Be graceful about
you
it.
sassy bitch.
Yeah.
Calm down. Let's get back into it.
All right. First of all,
where does that all come from, Nevin? Tell me.
Fasted cardio. I think this was repopularized by bodybuilders that were like cutting down to like comp leanness levels.
Yep.
And that they would say that if you do fasted cardio first thing in the morning, you're going to burn more fat. Okay. And there is an element of truth to this. All right. But it is a little bit not disingenuous, but it's two-way street. It's a two-way street. There is catch-22.
I'm confused.
Some might say.
Explain.
Right? So basically,
Explain yourself.
Yeah. So basically, if you do fasted cardio, because you don't have a blood sugar, you haven't just eaten, you haven't got a high blood sugar, you haven't got nutrients ready to go.
Yeah.
Yes, your body will break down a higher percentage
Of happiness. Yeah.
of happiness. Yes, it will your body will break down a higher percentage of stored fat.
Yeah.
For energy, right? So that part, yes, is true. You get a little tick there. But on the flip side of that, fat losses always comes down to calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're dieting and you're having 1,800 calories a day, and you wake up in the morning and you burn 500 calories on the treadmill, or 300 calories on the treadmill, you haven't got a bunch of nutrients. You haven't eaten, so you're taking most of that energy from stored fats, stored glycogen, stored fats, right? So what then happens at the end of the day when you eat and then you don't train, or you eat and then you go to bed? It's still the same number of calories. So they then, instead of getting used for energy, get stored as fat. So it's the same. It all works out net neutral. So yes, you will burn a high percentage of fat in the morning, but you will also store a higher percentage of fat in the evening.
Yep.
So really, if you want to lose fat, the best thing to do is just to decrease your calories or increase your workload. Like they're the main things, right? And obviously there's tricks like you can increase your protein and all sorts of other stuff. But
you don't have to torture yourself by doing fasted cardio. You don't have to torture yourself by doing cardio at all.
Right.
Cardio is silly, and you shouldn't do that because
just increase your general activity during the day. I think it was made more popular by bodybuilders because maybe they would wake up first thing, they'd get their walk on the treadmill, they'd burn a little bit, they'd eat some food, and they could train their weights later with a bit more energy. But really, in the big scheme of things, it's calories in versus calories out. So I guess that does sort of lead us to, do what works best for you. Exactly. If you feel like, I work out really well on an empty stomach and I can work out just as hard and I'm really consistent with it, cool, man. Like, do fasted cardio. It's not going to be a bad thing.
Exactly.
But like, if you are like, I hate waking up in the morning and I hate working out on an empty stomach, like you're going to do it like 3 times and then you're just going to call it.
Don't do it. I trained fasted first thing in the morning when I was at uni, out of necessity. Weight training sessions first thing in the morning. I just always feel like I was going to throw up when I was weight training. You do heavy squats on a full stomach. Yeah, you wake up and you eat. Just didn't like it, so I just did that fasted. It was fine. I didn't enjoy it, but I just did it because I didn't want to throw up. A lot of people can't eat right before they train, so they do that first thing in the morning. Some people just don't eat breakfast. There's lots of reasons why you could do it, but if you're doing it specifically to burn fat, there are better ways to burn fat that are easier to do, and you can be happier with it as well. So it just seems like one of those things that's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unless it fits your lifestyle, it doesn't really make much of a difference. There are other things you can do that are way more effective.
And so, and I think we're going to touch on this in a different episode. But if you want some little tips on where your calories go during the day, 70% of your on average, 70% of the calories that you will burn during a day are for your basal metabolic rate, which is just your body living. Okay, it's about 70%. So 15% comes from your NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is basically your general activity during the day. If you're going for a walk, if you're moving around the gym, if you're at a standing desk as opposed to sitting.
And don't be confused with this one, non-exercise. So if you say I exercise by walking to the train station, no you don't. That is a mode of transportation. That's general movement. That's non-exercise allowance.
Correct.
Getting your heart rate up and actually exercising is your exercise allowance.
And so here's what's funny. So basal metabolic rate, 70%. Your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, 15%.
So we're 85,
Your thermic effect of food. So when you eat fat, about 2 to 4% of the calories associated with the fat that you just ate get used to break down that fat. Carbohydrates is like 8 to 12%, and proteins like 27 to 30%.
This is a lot more.
So if you have a really high protein diet, you will break down more calories just by digesting that food.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So that's a little tip. The exercise activity thermogenesis, your EAT, only accounts for roughly 5%. So people are like, I'm going to eat this Hungry Jacks every night, but I'm going to work out really hard. You're probably not going to work out hard enough to outrun that shitty diet. You're better off trying to increase your protein levels and having better general movement and activity throughout the day. By improving your NEAT, your NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, is going to give the biggest bang for buck.
So when people say they exercise by going for a walk or walking the dog, that's not exercise. That's just general day-to-day
activity,
movement, right? Things that will burn calories. So if you were to do that, a short, let's say like half an hour walk once a day, that would probably be a hell of a lot more effective than going to the gym 4 times a week if your goal is to burn fat. Like half an hour a day, every single day is going to add up to a lot longer and end up burning a lot more calories. Unless you are killing yourself.
But let's be real. Most people in the gym, and I guess like if you're doing CrossFit WODs, is that what it's called? I don't care. It's stupid. Fuck CrossFit. No, okay. If you're like absolutely smashing it, like nonstop, maybe. But for the most part, when people go to the gym, they work hard during their set. They have a rest. They do another set. They have a rest. Maybe they superset with a rest.
Because a lot of people can't just for 1 hour straight absolutely destroy themselves because no one has the energy for that. It's almost impossible to do that every single time you go to the gym.
Right.
Yeah. So you'd have a better time just doing more things consistently throughout the week.
Correct.
Go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
I know it seems silly, but
that's it.
Doesn't have to be complicated.
But I think in terms of this myth, it is sort of, I guess, got one foot in truth where yes, you will burn a high percentage of fat if you exercise fasted.
But it all balances out in the wash.
It will balance out on the other end. Okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks very much for watching this episode, guys. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, ASMR. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. All right?
Subscribe, and just go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
Just enjoy the day.
Yeah, but you know what? Feel free to eat some fruit before you go on that walk. Yeah. You don't have to do it fasted.
Yeah. Be happy.
Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. That's just the fit tip for you today.
We'll
be back soon.
All right, and stay tuned for the next episode.